So first of all, let me, most of you are knowing Kalyani ma'am because she was working with you in your schools. And we are privileged actually, the All India Educators Forum is privileged to have Kalyani ma'am as a resource person today. The moment she sent her details, I mean, when I saw her details, I was so impressed. And the first thing that I always thought in my mind was, this is the future of education, because it's not the textbooks. What is important is, how we integrate art, and through, something like origami, which is a beautiful art, and how it can be integrated into a lessons. And today we are here to learn from ma'am, and she has given a beautiful heading for that, Storigami. I really love that, ma'am, Storigami. How can you integrate stories with origami and make our lessons beautiful? So we are all eagerly waiting, and I'm sure it's going to be a priceless session. So thank you once again for giving your valuable time for all the educators. And while it's a loss for Hyderabad that you're moving out from there, and it's going to be a gain for us that you're coming back to Delhi. So we are eagerly waiting for you with open arms. So thank you, ma'am. And please, you can start the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was a glowing start. I don't know if I deserve that, but I would like to thank all of you for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge and whatever I have gained over the years, just by my experiences in various schools in India. And also I've had the privilege to live and work in Japan. So that also has played a role in my, growing like in the way I have. Then I've had some really good opportunities in the schools I've worked in India. And there I've seen that certain things that I brought were working so well. So it just took it further and further. This is basically what I'm going to be sharing with all of you. And welcome everyone. Thank you very much for being here today. I'm excited. I hope you are too. So mostly what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to touch upon some ideas how to integrate art into subjects, because this is basically the future of education in the CBSE and CRT prescribed new way forward, where we have to integrate the arts into all the subjects, and it's called art integrated learning. So using that, I'm going to be diving into one specific form of art, and that is origami, and the possibilities that I have discovered over the years. So I really hope that you can take away something. And I'm also here to just, like I wrote in the brief, bust some myths, because, there's one little, in the corner of your mind, a lot of teachers feel that, I don't know origami. So I'm afraid to teach it because I don't know. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to, just a minute, I'll spotlight this, 1 minute. Spotlight, yes. So what I'm going to be doing is giving you the most basic things that you already know and using them to uh, integrate it into your lessons. So like I told you all to make a boat and a paper plane. I'm sure everybody knows how to make a boat and a paper plane. And growing up, I don't think we knew we were doing origami. We were just making boats because it was so easy, isn't it? So we'll start basically from what we know, like we do in our own teaching when we start something when we start teaching something to children. We start on the foundation of what they know. So I'm actually going to be showing you stuff which you know how to do, so then you're not intimidated by this art form, and then you can take it forward. So I will share my screen and I will show you a few, I'm going to basically show you a lot of pictures because I've got, yeah. Any problem, anyone? Can you please mute yourself, everyone, for better reception? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me get this. If someone could just unmute, tell me you can see this clearly, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes, ma'am, we can see.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay, great. Let me just put this also. So what I will do is I will be just sharing some pictures with you and talking about the possibilities, as well as I'm going to be showing you some stuff on the other screen. So when I'm going to be doing that, perhaps you could pin it, so you can see it better on the screen. Let's hope technology helps us as we go forward. Okay. So my title is Art Integrated Learning with Origami, Storigami, and more. And the reason I picked up Storigami is because, as you all know, stories really resonate well with children. And when I use origami and stories together, I found that there were so many soft skills that were being embedded into the student. So, and not just stories of like the Panchatantra or something like that. You realize that students develop the skill to tell their own stories, and based on what they see around them, in front of them. So that's basically what I'm going to be focusing on. So let me go to the next one. So here's a slide which basically tells you what art integration is about. So when you bring art to clarify a subject, so that's the way forward. And in that process, a very big component is collaboration with teachers of the subjects and the art teachers, because only then you can bring that synergy and the clarity in the learning. So here's what I've taken this from the NCERT guideline book, so which tells you that the arts can be used to teach concepts and evaluate. It can be used as an evaluation tool as well as to be used for learning methods. So all of these subjects can be integrated into with the arts, and the possibilities are only limited by our imagination. So let's go forward and take a look. What are the objectives? Again, I've taken it from the guidelines book just to make your, understand. You develop interdisciplinary connections, and there's so much freedom of expression. And then the different domains are addressed, the psychomotor and the affective and the cognitive domains. And there's so much participation from every student just because the activity is so much fun. Social skills, emotional expression, appreciation for diversity and cultural confidence. This I really like. And observation, experimentation, and building of scientific temper. So we'll take things one at a time. Now I want you to just understand why I chose origami. First of all, the art itself builds a lot of focus and concentration. It helps to understand abstract concepts, which we will figure out in a bit. And it's therapeutic. If you notice, there have been students whose parents have come to me and told me, my child has calmed down so much since he started doing origami. He used to be so restless. So it has so many therapeutic benefits. And if there are some really, really eminent physicists, mathematicians who have, double degrees in Caltech and MIT and stuff like that. And they have chosen origami as the, way forward. And if you've heard of Robert Lang, he has devised the solar array, which fitted into the and it has gone into outer space, because origami is basically about collapsing and opening of paper. So it works really well in spaces like nanotechnology also, when you can make it so tiny and then it opens up when it reaches its destination. Similarly in outer space, and in so many other areas, origami is being used in architecture and so many other areas. So it is a very relevant science, if I may say so. So it should be encouraged. If a child likes it, definitely he should go forward, and we should at least introduce it, and let's see where it goes from there. So here's what I'm going to show you now. Yes, it's here. So if you can see my other screen, can you see the other screen? Let me see where it is. Yes, maybe I will only pin it. Add spotlight. Okay. Are you able to see the screen? The green one with some origami on it?
Yes, ma'am, we can see
Great.
that.
Great. So here's what I'm going to call this. If you can read, this is Rangori. Instead of Rangoli, I'm going to call it Rangori because we are doing Rangoli with paper, and that is
It's
yeah.
visible.
Are you able to see it?
Sorry, ma'am, we are not able to see.
All right, all right, all right.
Visible.
Not seen,
Just
not
hold on.
seen. Not
Just
seen.
hold on, just hold on. I'm going to replace spotlight perhaps. Thank you for telling me. Where did it go? Yeah, so I will replace spotlight. Remove spotlight, and maybe I will remove my, okay. You know, I could just stop sharing and show you some stuff and get back to sharing. Okay, stop share. Okay, sorry guys, there's my screen now. Let me add the spotlight to this. Okay, here's my, if you can see now, this is what I was talking about. Yeah.
Yes.
So here is what we have come up with this word. Instead of Rangoli, I'm going to call it Rangori. And this is a beautiful expression, a kind of a connection with mathematics. And how? Because this is using 8. In fact, I should ask a math teacher to tell me how I can integrate it into the math curriculum. And here's another, yeah. Would anybody like to give me some ideas how I can integrate it with mathematics? Go ahead. And here's another one. This is a very, very simple paper. It's a square paper. Here you go.
Ma'am,
Yeah, tell me.
it's again disable.
Oops.
Ma'am, it's not visible, ma'am. We are not
Really?
able to see anything.
It's okay, ma'am. We can see. We can see. I think there is a personal. We can. It's
Acha.
visible.
Oh, no, I am not
We
able.
cannot see. We cannot
Okay.
see. We
No
cannot
problem.
see.
Cannot
Let me
see, we
remove
cannot
this video.
We cannot see.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to remove one more video so that it's even less. How about now, everyone?
Yes, yes.
No,
No.
no, 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 no.
What do I do?
No.
Visible for me at least.
Acha.
We
No,
can see.
but not.
I think, okay, why don't I do one thing? Why don't I do one thing? I will just show if this screen was visible. One minute, unmute. Yeah, sorry, technology, help me. Wait, remove spotlight. Okay, why don't I just share the screen because those pictures were visible, correct?
Ma'am, this is also visible. I don't know.
Acha.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to just go with what everybody can see. I can go back to that later. Okay, so here we are. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's also a personal, internet thing. So it could be that also. So if you have made your,
But
yeah, all right, we'll go with this. Don't worry. So if you have made your boat, how many of you have made your boat? Did you make a boat and bring?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
All right. I want you to please open it up.
Yes, ma'am.
Open it up very gently. Okay. Very gently open up the boat. And if you can tell me whichever subject you teach, if you can open up that boat and tell me what you see. Yeah, I can get some answers.
Different geometrical shapes we have.
All right. All right.
Triangle, rhombus,
Uh-huh.
and it also shows the properties
Uh-huh.
of rhombus, like the diagonals bisect each other, so lines are there.
Wonderful.
Proportionate lines, ma'am.
Okay. Anything else? So if you were a primary teacher, you could just
Line
tell
of
them to make.
symmetry we can also see.
Perfect.
These are
Perfect.
geometrical shapes.
Uh-huh.
Geometrical shapes, basically. If I am talking as a primary student,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
correct,
can
correct.
see the geometrical shapes, basically.
So maybe you can tell them to all of them to make a boat, open it up, and play a game. How many triangles do you see in this picture? How many squares do you see in this? Simplest
Wow,
game.
great.
Simplest game. But then here comes the fun part. If you are in a middle school, secondary teacher, please look closely and tell me what you see. There's a beautiful thing staring at you. Anybody? Anybody who's in the higher grades?
Pattern
who's teaching?
Rangoli.
On this, on the boat, on the boat. There's something hiding in this that is such a beautiful thing to teach the students. Look at it, look at it.
Angle? Ma'am,
Okay,
angles?
angles. What angles?
Angle and symmetry.
Okay, anything else?
Symmetry?
Right angle.
Symmetry, parallel line.
Symmetry
Okay.
and angles.
So you can see that there are so many possibilities just by opening up this. Okay, but here's the fun part. Okay, I'm going to reveal the secret now. What do you see here? Do you understand what I have made here? Wait, can you see it clearly?
Actions.
It's a right angle.
Yeah, and what is this? What theorem is staring at you? Tell me. I don't know much math, but I know this. Yeah, Pythagoras.
Pythagoras theorem, yes.
That's the most beautiful thing about the boat. So tell me, has anyone done this in class like this? Have you all done such, things like this?
No, ma'am.
So how easy is this? Everybody knows how to make a boat. You know, I know, children know. And then it's a beautiful way to teach them the Pythagoras theorem and a lot of other geometric, concepts, parallel lines and triangles and angles and so many things. So here's the fun part of using origami like this. And then when I told you also to make a paper plane. So if you open that up, again, you will see there's so many angles. There's angle bisectors. There's, the whole, if you open it up, I want you to remember this, when you open up an origami, what you see, the folds, it's called a crease pattern. Okay. So the crease pattern exploration is what we're doing here. So whenever we look at a crease pattern, you will see so many things that are geometry, and though the picture might look nothing like it when it's finished, when you open it up, it's pure lines and math and geometry and nothing else. That's the wonderful part of origami. So I'm going to show you some really cool pictures now. Yeah, I just showed you this. Okay. So here's another one. I'll show you this. Somebody, actually, I'm not a math teacher, but here's a really cool thing I learned.
Wow.
Can you see? Can you see this?
Yes,
so
ma'am.
Again, I'm going to ask a senior school math teacher. What is this? What
Pyramid.
Pyramid.
Yeah, pyramid.
Pyramid.
What can we? What other concepts?
Triangles?
Triangles, pyramids. Yes, absolutely.
Sierpinski.
Yeah,
Triangles.
absolutely. Who told me that? This is, I learned this when I was doing this. It's called the Sierpinski Triangle, apparently. And they're also called
Yes, ma'am.
fractals, isn't it? So this
Yes, ma'am.
is such a
Yes, ma'am.
fantastic activity which integrates math and art. You can get children to build beautiful installations like this, huge ones, big ones. And you know what? You can just use any kind of paper. You can use magazine paper. You can use recycled paper, and you will get a beautiful math integrated project with origami. And this other picture that you see is made from an equilateral triangle, actually. So there are so many things. I'm going to go forward. Yeah, here are more examples of rung origami, and I was showing you that only. And if you notice this one here, the one I'm putting my cursor on, this is actually one of the simplest ones. It comes with paper like this and just two folds, one like this, one like this. And suddenly you have a big square and a small square. And then you put 8 of them together and you have this excellent rangoli. So in your school, in your classroom, at home, you can encourage students to do rangoli and enjoy math and art together. So here's another beautiful And all of these are examples of Rangoli actually. And here is what I want you to observe. All of these pictures actually come from my students' explorations with origami. These are called, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're called stellar icosahedrons or something like that. And here's another one. So the fun part is it turns out into a pyramid at each corner, and the locking is without any glue. And for your information, all of these, what you see in front of you, are done by the students themselves, looking at the pictures in a Japanese book, not even an English book. And I also want you to observe this top thing here. This is a 7-sided box, okay? And this is designed by a very famous mathematician. His name is Toshikazu Kawasaki. So he came up with normally things that are even numbers are easy to fit together and stuff. But this is a real ingenious work that he has come up with. And this also students have done. So it's just about the picture. The title given here is critical thinking, just because if you're doing all of these locking systems and all of that, just by putting your mind to it and looking at the diagram and trying to figure out, okay, at every junction you have a pentagon, and then you have a hexagon here. So these are points that are going into their system and making them understand how, with so many units, this is the outcome and things like that. And here's another excellent picture. Here's another one. This is what they learned. A single cube. All right. What they learned was this, but look what this boy turned out. And this is creative thinking at its best, because he figured out how you can join all of these without glue, and he can make it sit, he can make it stand. And this was one hell of a great idea by this boy, all from his own interest. Here again is another. This is again designed by a very famous mathematician. His name is Thomas Hull, and he came up with these units, which when locked together, you have pentagons and hexagons. So he has designed this beautiful balls. They're called fizz units, and they're called bucky balls actually. All of these are possible with students if only, I would just beg to differ. I cannot say everybody, but those are interested, if you give them a little bit of leeway to go ahead and do it, they're going to show you a lot of things. And what happens is, suppose you don't know, as a teacher, you have plenty of things to do. But then if you don't know, it doesn't matter. If the child knows and he comes up with something, we can still use it as a tool, help him to get him to do some peer teaching, and all of us can learn and just, take it forward like that. Here's another interesting. So what we did here was, when they were learning about family, about houses, about shelter, we got them to do origami. We got them to do a Mother's Day activity where they did mother and baby. And here's an owl, all with origami here. So even language, not just English, it can be any language. The point is how well we can take it forward. And not just language. If we were doing EVS, for example, and we're talking about how we are destroying the environment by, using all these POP idols and stuff. So look at the next picture. It's very interesting. See what we did here. We made paper Ganeshas. And then look at what they're holding below is the Rangori actually. So we made Rangori, and we made paper Ganeshas, and they took it home as a message that we can use other materials and still have a festival which doesn't pollute. So here's another nice picture. So much fun. And here is Storigami. This is again one of my favorites because it's so much fun, and we can do it with the simplest of tools. Everybody knows how to make this, right? The fortune teller. I hope you can see what I'm showing you. The fortune teller, the 4 cups, tippy tippy tap. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
You all know how to do this? So what do I do with this? I can make this with this. Look at this. Here is a very simple puppet with which you can tell stories. And when you make your own puppets, you come up with a mix of maybe unrelated puppets, doesn't matter. Here's another one. This is a very simple fox. Have a story. So in the summer, when it was lockdown time, we had this. A few of us got together and did a nice summer program where we did Storigami. So I want you to just take a look at some really interesting ways how students are. And this one is with an existing story. This teacher is from Maharashtra and she wanted her students who were, especially during the lockdown, they had all gone off to their villages. So they all logged in from their, literally their villages. And then we did a story about the country mouse and the city mouse. So we did a little, and then I taught them some origami and they really had a nice time. So I'm going to now play a little video. Please watch about the same puppets that each of the students has, but they created their own stories. Here you go.
There lived a lion named Simba. Now he's the lion. He was the king of the jungle. He sent a message to the pigeon that, through the fox that I have organized a party. It will take place at 6 o'clock. The fox told the king, "Yes, Your Majesty, I will go right away." Ma'am, so the fox goes. First, he meets the pigeon. He tells the pigeon, "Hey, dear pigeon, you've been invited by the king to the party." The pigeon told, "Sure, I will be there." Next, he went to the owl. He told the same thing to the owl. The owl told, "Yeah, sure, I will be there." Then he was going to take a sip in the lake.
Here's one. And look at the next one.
She told, "No, but I need to go to another party. And there all the animals are coming. Will you also come, Chameli?" Chameli thought, "Oh, there are so many animals. I can kill them and eat them." So she readily agreed. And when they both were going, actually, the party they were going was a lion's den. So when they reached, Nita told Chameli, "Chameli, you go inside. I'm coming in a few minutes. I need to call my friends." So Chameli gone inside and Nita flew to call her friends. And Chameli, when she went inside, she saw a ferocious lion, and the ferocious lion and the fox was very scared. So the lion told, "Wow, I have a nice fox to eat today." So she eats, and then Nita comes and see Chameli's bones on the ground. Nita tells, "I am very sad my friend died, but I am feeling bad that she had bad intentions for me." Moral of the story is we should not have bad intentions to our friends.
Here. So that was how the same puppets can be used to create different stories just based on how the students react to their puppets, and their imagination takes them to their story. So what we can do is absolutely simple puppets like this. What I have used here is just the fortune teller. If you can see the fortune teller, this is the fortune teller. So what I did was basically I put glue on the top and the bottom, and I created a little mouth like this. If you can see here. Yeah. So Beyond that, it's again up to your imagination, the student's imagination, what you want to do with it. You might want to add a mane and make it a lion. You want to make it a fish. You want to make it a bird with some plumage. Completely imagination. And here's another one. And this is what I think will take the next step, because that's what makes it more interesting when you tell stories that make an impact. So here's a little lesson plan that I created, where the awareness of how we should protect our water bodies, and we can connect it with English, we can connect it with visual art, and of course language. If you want to do it in English, you want to do it in Hindi, you can do like a little puppet show. And here's the most cutest, where is it? Yes. Yeah. So here is a very, 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 very simple puppet. So I have a finger puppet here and here. Here is a fish, here is a bird, and then your story begins. Maybe this the fish is, you know, suffering in the water. It's completely what the child wants to tell, but he could tell a story based on the write-up here. So this particular puppet that you see is actually nothing but this one. Let me show you here. So it's a square piece of paper. I'm going to show you. Okay, it's a square piece of paper like this. Okay, I'm just opened it up. Okay, I hope you can see. So I brought this together like this to make like a kite, and I folded it. And then after this, I just rolled it round and round and round. And then I have a little space here for my finger, and it becomes whatever you want it to be. If you want it to be a little finger puppet, this is a bird I created. Here's a fish. So just hand them some paper, hand them some, and by the way, if you want some tutorials, there are abundant tutorials on the internet, on YouTube, and if you just leave it to the students, they themselves will figure it out what's an easy puppet to do. And if you give them the choice of their own, they'll create their own puppets too. And they can have a conversation, and they can have like, they can spread messages about how the world needs to be taken care of, all using origami. I hope you're enjoying this, because I'm enjoying this. And here's another lovely picture. This is what we did in when we had, it was August 15th. And what we did was we made the national animal, the tiger, and then we used the national flag colors to make the little pictures like this. And here's a big lotus, the national flower. And what I always believed was that, you know, yes, we're doing things in the classroom, but we need to connect it to the real world. And if we give them real world exposure, and also if we touched base with what's happening in the world at that particular time, so the message sinks in more deeply with the students. So here's, just look at this picture, because the next slide is going to show you how we use these pictures and more, of course. I'm just showing you because we did origami too. What we did was we made big posters, and there was this one time when there was a Kids for Tigers rally in Rajghat. So we had children holding up even these pictures, and here you go. So what they did, we just used them to make posters. I love my national animal and things like that. And they walked around Rajghat and spread the message of saving the tiger, our national animal. So there are so many things that we can do. And here's another beautiful activity. So there was this one time, then there was this awareness for, raising awareness against poaching of elephants. So the Bronx Zoo in New York started out a kind of, they wanted to display origami elephants, and they wanted to set a world record, Guinness World Record, of the largest number of origami elephants displayed at one place in their zoo, basically. So they sent out the message, and we took part in that, and we had these students coming in and picking up paper. What we did also was we did a little research on what was happening to the elephant. So again, we were connecting with EVS or social studies and so many other things about loss of habitat. And then we had these students who were so galvanized, literally. We actually made, if you look at that box, we made 2,222 elephants, origami elephants, and we sent it to the Bronx Zoo. And we all got certificates from the Guinness Book of World Records because they broke that world record. So again, to connect with a larger cause resonates with the students, and I'm sure they will never forget this activity and also remember the cause which they stood for. Here. And I'm going to show you a few more. We have time, right? Yeah, we have time. So what we have done is, again, in another class, this perhaps is not so much origami, but again, this was about extinction and it was about the Amazon rainforest. So they created these little puppets out of paper of the tree frog of the Amazon, which was which is actually getting extinct because of the loss of habitat. And then we had this little story that students had to tell from the perspective of the frog. So they were holding up these frogs, and then the frog was the narrator, and they were giving out their, the frog was telling them, it's you should save me and stuff like that. So it's just very simple and so much fun. If you notice in all of these activities, the sparkle in the students' eyes will tell you how much they're enjoying it. And here's another one. Here, this is actually, it connects with science, it connects with math, because this is a geodesic dome and it was made just with rolled newspaper pipes, and it could connect with physics because of the load and the stress and things like that, and it could connect with math also. And a simple tutorial exists where they can construct a geodesic dome, and then it turned out to be this little play area afterwards because it was such a fun thing to do. They made big ones, they made small ones, and they were playing all over. For 6th grade, 7th grade, I think we did this a long time ago. So this is called the Geodesic Dome. This is not origami, but then I just wanted to put it there because it was so nice. And there's another wonderful thing here. This is chemistry. And these are really beautiful. And I've actually seen this happen in, when I was staying in Japan, I went to a school and I saw these students using origami to do bonding in chemistry. So when you actually put the hydrogen atoms and oxygen atoms and make that hydrogen molecule, no? So then, and when you see such an abstract thing in real life as a unit here, it clarifies a lot. I used to be really terrified of chemistry when I was little. If I had stuff like this, I would have really enjoyed it, I think. So the bonding, how it happens, how to connect and everything, there's a beautiful tutorial. If you would like to know more about these things, you should definitely get in touch with me. I will point you to the right direction. Okay, so please don't think that it's only for small children. It's for different levels. Everybody can benefit from the, the art, because it has so many levels of understanding and learning. Okay, now we also have art integrated projects in CBSE. And a few years ago, we had done a project, which is not an art integrated project in these terms, but it was a project for ISA. And it is basically, let me show you, where did it go? Where is my, cannot find it. Yes, I can. Yeah. So here is a paper crane. And whenever you think origami, you always look at this picture because this is the symbol of peace, and it's the paper crane. So this is actually, whenever you see any picture of origami, this is the one picture that you will definitely connect with. So this is the paper crane, and this has a beautiful story also about how during the World War, actually it's a Japanese legend that you can make 1,000 paper cranes and your wish will come true. So this little girl who was also affected because of the atomic bomb in Hiroshima, what happened was she started to fold these 1,000 paper cranes. She couldn't finish and she died. But because of her wish for peace in the world, her community, her friends got together and built a memorial for her in Hiroshima. So this is a beautiful story. There's a book called the Sadako and the 1,000 Paper Cranes. So perhaps you could get students to read it in the holidays as a, and write a book review. You can do I'll just show you the integration possibilities. You can do science. You can find out how the red crested crane is is the bird that is the Japanese national, you can't say national, but it's the bird of Japan. And you can talk about their habitat. You can talk about the history of this. You can also look at the crease pattern that I put here, and how the crease pattern again has so many possibilities to do math with. You can definitely connect it with that. And of course, life skills, because here's a picture here's a little gesture that just makes you feel, connect with the cause of peace. So I'm going to play this very nice video. Just watch. It's a lot of, it was the thing that we sent out to the ISA project. You can take a look. And how much fun the students were having. And anybody wants to tell me what this is? There is so much to show. Here you go. What is this? This is not science, this is more math. Anybody wants to tell me what this is? So you have what is called the hyperbolic parabola, which you can draw. I think it goes with math. But imagine if you could do this in origami, and you can actually make the parabola in 3 dimensions and learn the possibilities of something so abstract which you just draw. So this is an excellent origami application, and children can come up with all kinds of fun things with this. This is called the parabola, hyperbolic parabola. So now I'm going to go back to what I was showing you. So what I have done is, here are the 3 wise monkeys: see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. So my project is, I hold workshops and I teach students, elders, any age group, about the message of Gandhi. Essentially, it's a tribute. And what I've been doing is, literally the last few months, it's been online. Otherwise, I've had on-site workshops. I've done it in schools, and it's been going well. Just wanted to share with you here. So reflecting upon the values of Gandhiji. So here are some on-site workshops. And then the world opened up during the lockdown. So I have touched so many countries from East, West, North, South, Russia, Turkey, Malaysia, South America, and I particularly want you to look at this picture here. This is a classroom, and this is a teacher who works with students of, they've got this second chance at learning because they were all, they weren't doing so well in studies and they were like failures. So they're in a military boot camp and they get this education. They're like literally like a military boot camp. It is a military boot camp. So this teacher got in touch with me and we did a beautiful workshop on see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, because he said, this is in California, by the way, and he said, this is the best message we can give these guys because they really need messages like this. And down here is a person in Nigeria who's working with troubled children because of the civil war. And here this lady is a University of Oxford Children's Hospital cancer specialist. And she brings origami to the hospitals to, elevate their mood and other things. So many people have been using origami for different reasons. So here you go. So what did we learn today? That the process is more important than the product. It's not how well the crane has been made, but what have the children learned from it and what have they gained. Again, excuse me, I think there's some background noise. Yeah, very important to collaborate with teachers, and it's a pathway to experiential learning, and it ensures that connections are established. Only if we establish connections, then only the learning happens. So it's not how well the product has been designed. sorry, made. It's about what have you learned from the product that you created, how well you connected with your subjects. All right. So let me just quickly, yeah. And again, this is just a guide, and this is just like opening a window. Each one has their own ideas and their own, challenges to meet and their own textbooks to guide them from. So if you see a possibility to integrate origami in the classroom, there's nothing better. Of course, there are many other ways to integrate art. This was only about the paper folding art of origami. And I just feel that it has so many possibilities and so many different pathways that you can take to. You can go to math, you can go to science, you can go to languages and history and geography and so much more. And just the art by itself, because this art by itself, if you notice, students who are interested will go on challenging themselves. Like that picture I showed you of that big dinosaur. So it just came from their own interest and it just gets better and better. And there are so many ways that they can take it forward in life because it helps you in a lot of pathways as children get older. So definitely I would recommend, if you have a possibility to integrate origami, you should definitely do that. Okay, great. So I'm going to stop sharing now. And yeah. And if anyone has any questions or some suggestions or something they want to share with me, please go ahead. Yeah.
Ma'am, can you please once again show how to make bird or fish you showed, no ma'am?
Okay, I'll do that. Definitely, I'll do that.
Also, there is a small request.
Yes,
since many people are not able to see on the screen, it will be a good idea if you have some video, please post it in the group. Of course, you can show it now, but if you have some video, please post it in our WhatsApp group so that, at the leisure, they can watch that.
All right. The videos that I have shown now?
Not that, ma'am. Especially the crane that you were making or the fish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can put, links to videos of that. That would be very interesting, very easy.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I did not check the chats. I'm so sorry.
No,
did I miss anything? It's fine? Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Just,
and you wanted me to show you that fish, I'll just show you. Just give me a minute. Let's be poor. Yeah, I'm going to open this only and show you. Okay. So if you have a square sheet of paper, please take the square sheet of paper and this is your square sheet of paper. Wait, let me bring a nice one. Hold on, I'll take this. Yeah, here you go. Here's your square sheet of paper. It can be same color both sides. And here is my first fold. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Ma'am, it's a request to please go slower.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you.
It's actually very simple. If you can see my other screen, I could maybe put it there. Let me try. So I am guessing a lot of you could see the video. I mean, see the presentation.
This is fine. We can see.
Okay. All right. So you don't want me to switch to other camera? I'll go with this. Okay. So here's my first step. And if you notice, there's a center line. So I will give you the next step. Hold on. Here you go. Here's my next step. What I did was I brought the edges to the center like this. Okay. Okay. And the next step is just to fold the whole thing like this. Okay. With me, everyone? Now I'll draw the next line so you'll understand. Okay. Hold on. So I'm going to just make a line on with the pen so you can see it better. So here is the fold, okay? So this is my paper. This is how I've folded it. And this side is the folded side. This is the open side. So what I've done is I have made a line from this edge here, this corner, all the way up, fold it like this. Okay? Let me know if you got this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. Now all we have to do is wrap it around. So here's my paper. Your paper looks like this. So if you see from, if you look at it from here, so all I'm doing is wrapping this around as much as it goes. Okay, that's it. Basically, that's the fish. And I'll show you how it becomes a fish. So what did I do? I just wrapped it around this top. Okay. So what did I do? 1, 2. And then if it just becomes like a little extra, just tuck it in here. Tuck it in like this. Okay. So if you notice, there is a pocket here. So this is where the finger goes. Okay. Here's my. So how do I make it a fish? If it's a fish, look at this corner, this side. So I'll just lift it up. Okay, like this. Hold on. You can just lift it up like this and stick it up to make it very, very simple. Okay. And if you want, you can attach paper. But what I did was, remember we tucked this. So I just left it like this. So it becomes a fin, you know, put a little bit of glue and then it just stays. Okay. Or you could just take this corner, cut it, and then you have on both sides, I cut it up here. So how we manipulate is completely our imagination. There are no, you're not breaking any rules. So here is my fish, okay? And then you can put a little eye here, you can color it, and then your fish is all set to become a puppet, finger puppet. Okay? And what I did here was I made it into a bird. So what I did, I colored it in such a way that it has a beak and it has a little wing. Again, you can add a lot of features to them, however you want as a craft element. You can go on adding to it and it's completely okay. I can also show you these. These are really cute. Should I show you these also? The fortune teller puppets. They're extremely simple. If you know how to make this, all you have to do is put a little glue here and at the bottom, and then you have a mouth. And let me show you. This afternoon, I traveled to Malaysia. So there I taught them these. Here. Here you go. So here is the puppet. Give a little mouth and everything. And then I just made a little, you know, lifted it up to make ears. Got it? So these are like ultimate simple ones where we don't have to worry too much about, oh, I don't know how to make this. Everybody knows how to make this. And the challenge would be, you can give them this and tell them, turn it into any animal, any bird, and look at the creativity that comes out. It's absolutely amazing. So thank you very much, everybody, for listening to me. I hope you enjoyed my presentation.
Yes,
Are we
ma'am.
on time? Yeah, we're okay. 7.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really wonderful.
Thank you. Any questions, any suggestions, anything?
Thank
You
you,
can
ma'am.
interact. Anybody, you're free to interact now.
Conduct sessions, online sessions.
I didn't hear that, ma'am. I didn't hear that.
I asked, do you conduct online sessions?
Yes, I do. I
Okay.
have been doing for the past so many. So
I mean, what I meant was you did talk about it, but I wanted to know proper graded sessions where you take up. Okay.
yes.
Great. So I would, now that I have your WhatsApp, I would connect you. And
Sure.
I had one
thank you,
question.
Sister Matthew.
Yes, ma'am.
That was wonderful.
Ma'am, I had one question. I'm a primary teacher. What are like some of the most common articles that you make which are easy for kids to learn,
Yeah,
like
this
animals or birds?
yeah, this is a starting point. This is a
Mm-hmm.
fantastic one. Everybody knows how to do this. Okay.
Yes, yes.
And then from this only, here's another same thing. There's no difference actually. The same thing can be turned into this. I'll show you here. Look at this. This is again a talking crow. So
Okay.
all I did was look. See, there are 4 squares
Right,
here.
right.
I
Yes.
just pulled out one. Okay.
Right.
I pulled out one, and then I held these two, and here is a talking crow.
Okay. Okay.
It's really
Great.
simple. Actually, a very good resource would be it's a website. It's called n.origamiclub.com. I can put it in the group actually.
Yeah, ma'am, sure. That
There's
would be
a lot of very
Yeah.
interesting, easy to make origami.
Yes.
And every
Because
time
there are a
have
lot
to be a
of
puppet.
there are a lot of videos, but then the thing is we need to find the simplest ones for kids that
Correct.
we can teach in the class.
So this is not a puppet. I just used a little,
Ice cream stick.
ice cream stick, and I stuck it on both sides, and I made this out of actually, paper bags. These are paper
Okay.
bags. Paper, those things they put medicines and all
paper.
in. Brown
Yeah,
paper,
brown paper bags. Yeah.
basically. So you really don't need much material also. It's
So
really
it's kind
simple.
of like reusing the waste material that you have.
Absolutely. So here's another thing. So when we did the city mouse and the country mouse, so I told them to just use magazine paper and things like that. So we really did not spend much. And even this actually is just used paper, which I have folded into a boat. It actually requires very little, resources. And then you just if you have recycled paper, you can use your colors and just color them
Sure,
up
sure.
and things like that.
Yes.
It's really nice. It's not much effort it's
Yes,
all
yes.
more imagination and what we can do with it.
Yes. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Beautiful session.
Thank you. Any more questions or any suggestions or anything?
Video, ma'am.
Pardon? I'll send videos. I'll put some, actually I can just point you to some YouTube videos also, because they're very simple and easy to absorb. So we can do that too.
Can you share for this nice secondary classes also origami, how we can integrate with the mathematics?
Okay, I'm going to repeat a few things which I did. And here's the starting one. Remember I told you about the boat? So
Yes,
the
ma'am.
boat is a beautiful thing. You can do a lot of integration with, in fact, you should tell me what you can see aside of what we talked about. If you can tell me more about parallel lines, about, yeah, just go ahead and tell me, somebody tell me, anybody. And the reason I'm using the boat is because it's so not intimidating. Because if anybody can make this and learn and teach something out of it, it's more than enough. So the Pythagoras theorem is one excellent one that you can pick out from here, aside of playing a game with how many squares, how many triangles, and all kinds of things. This is one. Then here's another. If you said secondary school, what exactly are you looking at? Any concepts that we can share ideas. We can share ideas. And this is what I was going to show you. Yeah. This triangle here, this pyramid is very simple to make. Okay. I should actually make it and show you. I'll send you the link. Okay. So putting these on top, these are called fractals, and this is an excellent hands-on activity which will give them a sense of, if you can notice, this is an equilateral, and there's even the empty space, the positive negative space is also equilateral. And then you create equilateral triangles on all sides. There's much to learn. In fact, I should learn how many concepts can be pulled out. Sir, are you a math teacher, sir? Matthew, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
So you give me some ideas.
Actually, in most of the origami that I am seeing, there is a lot of concept of congruency, similarity, patterns, yeah, sequence and series. We can teach all that, progressions.
Yeah, that's it. See, these are the words that I need to learn because, yeah. And again, if you notice here, this is a beautiful, this is called what is it called now? It's called an icosahedron or something. Am I right?
Icosahedron.
Yeah, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
icosahedron.
if you notice, there are 30 pieces in this, and at each intersection, as you continue to connect, you will get a pentagon. See, you have a flower, which is a pentagon. And then again, you have these three triangles joining. There's so much of math embedded into this. And I used to be terribly intimidated by these things because I was very scared to join all of this. But as you begin to do them, it really clarifies in your head what is happening. So then and almost like magic, it just fits in. When you come to the last module, without any problem, it will go exactly into the place it's supposed to go. So it's really, really good. And you can just pull out these videos from the internet. You can have some books where these things are, they have a diagram, and there's these units actually. All of them are the same. Once you start connecting them, they get into these formations, and it's very, very interesting how well you can integrate. And if you notice here, here's and you need 3 pieces to make this pyramid here. And then they go on connecting like this. And actually speaking, there are only 30 units in this. Looks like a lot, but it's only 30 units. And here is another one.
Excuse me, ma'am. एक
Yes,
वो
ma'am.
चोंच आपने दिखाई थी ना, वो चोंच दिखाइए ना वापस.
This one? ये वाला?
Yes,
ये
ma'am.
चोंच? Okay.
हाँ, नहीं.
I'll show you how to make.
Okay. वो green था ना नीचे अंदर लगा हुआ.
Wait. Green? Wait. This one? नहीं, not this.
नहीं.
ये होगा मैम.
हाँ.
Okay.
हाँ ऐसा ही था कुछ, लेकिन उसके अंदर green.
अच्छा. Okay. I'll show you. Wait. Where did it go? हाँ, this one. This is actually same thing, ma'am. So जैसे हमने ये बनाया ना, this one.
जी.
My Hindi is not so good, so bear with me. So my friends used to always tease me when I spoke Hindi. So when you did take this, how to make this? Okay. So ये आ गया ना. So what you do, you fold along the diagonal like this. ऐसे. Okay. Okay. I'll show you with this. This is easier to see. So ये है ना. So you fold along the diagonal like this.
Yes, ma'am.
And again along the diagonal like this.
Okay.
Then what you do, open it, and
Yes.
sirf ek. There are 4, na? Just one of them. I'll take the one where I put the eyes. देखो, इधर, this one. So इसको आप बाहर निकालो, please.
जी. Okay.
And then you fold it like this.
Yes.
And फिर इन दोनों को पकड़िए like this. So then
very
you
nice,
have
very nice.
It's very nice. It's so much fun. We also become children like this.
हाँ जी.
So thank you very much, everybody.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kalyani ma'am, for sparing your valuable time.
Certificate मिलेगा ना, ma'am? Certificate मिलेगा ना?
There will be a link which will be sent in the group. You'll have to fill that link, and the certificate will be mailed to you. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So please don't exit the group. Please stay in the group. And we also have other programs. Also, Kalyani ma'am has been a great resource person. We want her to do more programs with us. But we also, on our platform, we have other programs also. So you are most welcome to join that. And ma'am, I would request you to send any links or any material that so that people who are just beginning this can at least start off with this, because it's a beautiful concept. And I think with the new NEP coming in, I think some basics, we can create some interest in our classrooms. And Nina had also done a podcast with you. So I'll request Nina to share the link of the podcast in the group so that, people are aware of what you do and how it has to be done.
Sure.
So I'll,
Definitely, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So thank you, ma'am. And
thank you so much.
Hopefully we'll put the recording also for everyone to see.
Okay. I'll stop recording. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, sure.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. Whoever has joined today, thank you. I hope it was useful.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye. Have a nice day, everybody.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
I am the host, no? I need to be here.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. Thank you very much. I can end the meeting now. I'll just end it now.
Yes, ma'am. Please end it.
Chalo,
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
So many
sir.
things I learned today.
Oh, how
And
nice.
Danya has already missed.
Great. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.